Hello, my name is Rhea Chatham, your Stenograph representative here in Texas and Oklahoma. Thank you for taking the time to watch this webinar on how to adjust your Luminex or Diamante. I put together this video to help you make adjustments to write cleaner, resulting in better real-time and less editing. The Luminex is a fantastic writer, and most reporters use it with no adjustments. They just start writing on it right out of the box. But there are many easy adjustments you can make to customize the touch of the keyboard and make your translation even better. The Luminex has several features that can be easily adjusted. There are two keyboard adjustment dials located outside the writer, which makes adjusting your depth of stroke and key tension even easier. The software in the writer has true stroke technology, in which the travel direction and acceleration of each key is independently measured, sensed, and analyzed to give a three-dimensional view of steno strokes. It will discern dragging, splitting, stacking, and shadowing. The slightest motion or the heaviest pounding will be measured to provide the highest level of accuracy when writing. And you have the ability to adjust individual keys within the software itself, and even store several key adjustment settings for use at different times of the day as profiles. The depth of stroke dial on the left allows you to raise and lower the entire keyboard, including the number bar. Roll the dial away from you to raise the keyboard. Roll the dial towards you to lower the keyboard to a shorter stroke. Keep in mind that the lowest setting might not be best for you, particularly if you have a tendency to stack. Adjusting the tension dial on the right to find the perfect amount of keyboard tension or resistance. You roll the dial away from you to increase the resistance and roll the dial towards you for a softer stroke. Within the software, you can make adjustments that affect the entire keyboard and/or individual keys. You would do this to compensate for stacking, splitting, dragging, or dropping. Keep in mind that you can always reverse any changes you make with a simple click and start fresh in case you feel you might have over-adjusted your writer. To begin making these adjustments, you need to be at the main screen. It's the screen you're on when you first turn the writer on or end a job. While on this screen, you're going to press Setup. You'll notice on this next screen you don't see anything that says Keyboard, so we're going to need to press the More button to get to the keyboard option. On this next screen, you're going to press Keyboard, then you're going to press Adjust. This is the main keyboard adjustment screen where you would make changes if you're stacking or splitting, or if the entire keyboard is too sensitive or not sensitive enough. Stacking is where two strokes are written so quickly that they register on the same line, causing an untranslate or a mistranslate. Splitting is generally where one hand goes down before the other hand in a stroke, and the letters from the first hand register before those of the other hand. Move to each setting by pressing the up and down buttons. First, let's talk about key sensitivity. You want to use the setting if your entire keyboard is too sensitive or not sensitive enough. Indications of this situation are if you're getting a lot of extra letters randomly across the entire keyboard. In this case, you're going to press the plus button to select less sensitive 1, less sensitive 2, or less sensitive 3. If a lot of letters aren't registering, press the minus button to select more sensitive 1, more sensitive 2, or more sensitive 3. Keep in mind that if you are selecting level 3, there might be better ways to adjust your writer. For most people, balanced works just fine. Now let's take a look at split stack adjustment. If you're stacking, press the plus button to select less stacking 1, less stacking 2, or less stacking 3. If you're splitting, press the minus button to select less splitting 1, less splitting 2, or less splitting 3. Now for transition time, this option can be used if you're stacking or splitting and the split stack adjustment isn't giving you the results you want. It adjusts the timing between strokes. And if you're adjusting this, you might want to call support and see if they have any ideas on which settings would be best for your style of writing. Generally, if you're splitting, you'll press the plus button to select a higher number, which gives you a longer transition time. If you are stacking, press the minus button to select a lower number, which shortens the transition time between the strokes. You can always return to factory default settings if you feel you selected the wrong settings or you just want to start over. You'd press the plus or minus buttons to toggle between yes and no. When you finish with this screen, you can either press OK to exit or press Adjust keys to adjust individual keys so that they are either more or less sensitive. Let's select Adjust keys. This will take you to a screen for adjusting individual keys. The white dashes you see in the middle of the screen represent the point at which a stroke is written. When you press a key, you will see a blue bar that goes up as you press harder. When that blue bar crosses the white dash, the letter is written. After you let up on the key, a gray bar will be present. In this example, the initial S is gray. This gray bar indicates that this is the letter you will be affecting. The blue you see floating right above several of the letters is the automatic calibration. This will change as you adjust your depth of stroke because our machines all automatically calibrate. As you make the keys more and less sensitive, the number under the key will change. Balanced is 0. A general rule of thumb is to increase or decrease the number by 10 for the first adjustment to that key. If this doesn't get you the desired result, increase the number in increments of 5. Anything less than 5 is just too small to make a difference. To make a key less sensitive, for example, it registers when you don't want it to, in other words, you're dragging it, press the less button 10 times. Again, if this isn't enough, increase by increments of 5 until you reach the desired setting. Note that the little white bar for the key will move up, indicating that it will register later than the other keys. To make a key more sensitive, for example, it doesn't register when you want it to, and we often refer to that as dropping, press the More button 10 times. Again, if this isn't enough, increase by increments of 5. Note that the little white bar for this key will move down, indicating that it will register sooner than the other keys. If you're not happy with your adjustments or you just want to start over, press the Reset button. This will return the settings to factory standard. Press Done when you are finished and then exit the other menus as well. When asked if you want to save the changes as a profile, answer No if these are the only settings you will use. If you want to save the changes as a profile, for example, you might have a morning versus afternoon settings, then answer Yes and give the profile a name. In closing, I urge you to adjust your writer if you're not getting the translation or feel you want from your machine. If you need to, ask for help. In most instances, a little adjustment will go a long way in improving your translation rate, your comfort level, and your peace of mind. Never just let time go by without making your writer all that you want it to be. It was designed for cleaner real time and less editing. Thank you for taking time out of your day to learn more about how to adjust your writer. If you would like more information, please call or text me on my mobile or reach out via email. My contact information is listed on this slide. Thanks again and have a great day.